Mr. President, I rise today on behalf of nearly 25,000 workers and retirees in Wisconsin who have paid into the Central States Pension Fund. It has been 3.5 years since the Treasury Department denied an application by the Central States Pension Fund to slash pensions that had already been earned by thousands of plan members. In that time, retirees have organized at home. They've called on their members of Congress, and they've come to Washington countless times, all to remind us of the promises that they were made when they earned their pensions, and to fight for a solution to this looming crisis. I have been proud to work side by side with Wisconsin workers and retirees and with Senator Brown to introduce the Butch-Lewis Act. This legislation will put failing multi-employer pension plans, including Central States, back on solid ground. And it does so without cutting the pensions retirees have earned. And today, I introduced my legislation to help shore up the government's insurance plan for these pensions. The Pension Stability Act would add funding to the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation and its multi-employer program by imposing a fee on financial firms that are convicted of financial crimes. This weekend, I was in Endeavor, Wisconsin. I was meeting there with retirees who meet once a month at the fire station to update one another on the progress here in Washington. In the months since the House passed the Butch-Lewis Act, there hasn't been much progress to speak of. The Senate hasn't taken up the bill. No other proposals have been presented, and all the while, retirees and workers in the Central States Pension Fund continue to doubt their retirement security. If Washington does not act, workers and retirees face massive cuts to the pensions that they've earned over decades of hard work. I've come to the floor many times over these past 3.5 years to remind this body about the retirees that stand to lose 50%, some more than 50% of their pensions if Washington fails to act. Since then, nothing has been done. And so I'm here to once again remind my colleagues that this is about a promise that must be kept. This is about a promise made to Bob Brockway. He stands to lose more than half of his monthly pension. Bob retired in 1999. He's made the trip to Washington to be a part of the solution, even when his wife Margie would rather he stayed at home. And he organizes the meetings that are held every month in Endeavor. This is about a promise made to Thomas from Heartland, Wisconsin. Thomas is a 72-year-old retired semi-truck driver and Army veteran. He's also a cancer patient, and his wife has significant medical bills. Thomas wrote to me this summer. He said, "I've put many much-needed home repairs on hold since this whole mess started. We've had no vacations or any other extravagances since I retired. We did nothing wrong. We paid into Central States, and somehow the government dropped the ball." And this is about a promise made to Donald. Donald and his wife Janet in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Donald wrote to me to tell me, quote, "After 25 years working at a company where I earned a pension as part of a wage and benefit package, I retired. I retired 4 years ago because my body wouldn't let me perform the tasks in the factory that could more easily be performed in my younger years. My pension and Social Security allow me to pay for heat, electricity, food, and maintenance on my home. But a 50% reduction in my monthly pension payment would mean we could no longer afford visiting our children or grandchildren, buying Christmas or birthday presents, or seeing an occasional movie. And without this pension, I doubt we could afford the most basic of household expenditures. This is about a promise made to Mary in Greenfield, Wisconsin. Mary wrote to tell me, quote, "My story is simple. In November 2014, my husband passed away. In December, I learned the bad news about my pension. Worrying all this time has taken its toll. What will I be able to afford? I will probably have to move. I need a new car, but that's on hold." And the list goes on. I'm turning 70 in a few days, and I never thought at this age I'd have to worry about how I will survive. End quote. If Washington does not act, we will be breaking a promise made to 1.5 million retirees nationwide. Pension promises must be kept. So once again, I'll say Washington needs to act, and we need to do it now.